Welcome to the Back Bay of Boston as we get ready for Game 3 of a 3-game series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Boston Red Sox. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Rosillo along with Steve Lyons. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the announcement yesterday that Dustin Pedroia will be out a while, perhaps the season for the Red Sox. And I guess the question is, Steve, why wasn't he shut down maybe a little bit earlier?
Yeah, maybe a month ago. I mean, we all love the tenacity that this guy shows. It's why he's the heart and soul of this ball club. But he got hurt basically on the opening series of this season, and he's tried to battle through it for the rest of the time, and it just hasn't really worked out for him. He's had his worst season ever, and this is a guy that has to be healthy. You got to get him ready for next season. Get that wrist healthy, whether he has to have surgery or not. That still is yet to be determined. But this was April 4th, and on a double play ball there, Carlos Gomez goes in hard. He goes down hard on that wrist, and that's been what's been bothering him the entire season. That's tough to deal with, but you got to get it fixed. No reason to be playing right now.
So perhaps that's what's going to happen for Dustin Pedroia in the near future. We know this. Brock Holt will be at second base for the most part. Today it is Jamal Weeks. The Red Sox trying to get the last game of this series, and they'll send to the hill today Brandon Workman. He has just one win on the year. He's 1-8, but that win came at Camden Yards in Baltimore against these Orioles. We're back with the first pitch from Fenway right after this. Dunkin' Donuts, your New England Nissan dealers, and by the Subaru dealers of New England. Welcome back to Fenway Park, where we play day baseball in this finale of the homestand for the Red Sox here against the Baltimore Orioles. Red Sox have taken the field, so let's check out the O's starting 9. Nick Markakis in right field leads it off with Alejandro Diaz, who had a big night here last night in left field, batting second. Adam Jones in center bats third, with Nelson Cruz the DH. Chris Davis at third base. Steve Pearce back at first base, with Caleb Joseph doing the catching the day game after the night game, and Ryan Flaherty at shortstop, with Jonathan Scope at second base, batting ninth. Well, today's Red Sox starting pitcher is presented by your New England Audi dealers. Experience the all-new 2015 Audi A3 today. On the mound for the Red Sox, Brandon Workman's 18th appearance, 14th start. He is 1-8 with a 4.90 earned run average, 61 strikeouts, 30 walks on the year. He's logged 79 innings, and opponents hitting at .251 against him. Last time out against the Yankees, no decision, 6 innings and 3 runs allowed by Workman.
Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines today. Carlos Rivero making the start at third base, then Bogarts, Weeks, and Craig around your infield. In the outfield, left field, Cespedes, Mookie Betts in center, Daniel Nava in right field. And there's your battery with Butler and Workman.
Umpire crew here today. Adrian Johnson has a plate with Mike Everett at first base. Second base, the crew chief, Bill Miller. And at third base, Bill Welke. A beautiful day here today at Fenway Park as the game gets started. 70 degrees. Breeze in from center at 9 miles per hour. And the forecast partly cloudy for the remainder of the day. Red Sox wrapping up this homestand, and after the ball game heading to Kansas City today to begin another 3-city tour. Markakis standing in here for the O's at 277, 12 homers and 44 runs batted in. First pitch of the ball game is fouled off to the left, out of play. Let's take a look at our Chevy key player. Brandon Workman's only win this year came against the O's June 10th. 6 2/3, allowed just one hit, no runs, and a 1-0 victory. He's not allowed an earned run in 10 2/3 career innings against the O's. So he's hoping that he can mirror that here today against Baltimore.
I think the thing to keep your eye on with Workman today is the command and the velocity of that fastball. It's kind of his bread and butter pitch, but he has struggled with both at times this season.
Look out. Markakis gets buzzed. Reacted kind of late.
Hey, set the tone early. Right up around the letters. Up on that shoulder. Get in on a guy. Telling everybody in that Oriole dugout not to get too comfortable at the dish.
Outside, 3-1. Red Sox have only been able to muster one run in this series. A lot of kids here today. Day baseball from Fenway Park. This one grounded up over the mound towards short. Bogart's charging in and throws out Markakis for the first out of the game. Well, fans, you can test your Red Sox IQ right now with the MLB Preplay mobile app. Download for free and start predicting every at-bat of every Red Sox game all season long. Today, Preplay predicts Brandon Workman will go 6 innings, allow 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, and strike out 5.
Those aren't bad numbers. That's not a bad line for Workman. Occasionally you see that preplay, and you wonder if the starting pitcher wants to wring the guy's neck who's running those numbers out there. It's like, I'm going to have a better day than that.
Well, so far we haven't had anybody go like an inning in the third with 7 hits, 7 runs. Nothing like that so far.
They've been nice.
Yeah. For the most part, they've been quality starts. One down for Alejandro Diaza. Had a big night last night. 2 home runs in the game. A 2-run shot, solo shot, and now has 7 on the year with his new team. Coming over from the Chicago White Sox. Head 2-0. Workman frustrated with that last delivery. 5-game hitting streak coming in for Diaza.
The Orioles having as good a season as they can have. I think they've overachieved, and they have continued to go out there and add pieces to their puzzle to make sure that they're a good playoff team.
A couple of home runs last night for him as part of the victory here last night for the O's. 2-run shot that goes into the bullpen. A solo shot that goes up and over the bullpen and into the bleachers. 3-0 pitch is high, and on 4 pitches, Diaza down to first base with a 1-out walk.
Well, for Renato on those pitches, as soon as he threw them, he wanted them back. They were kind of like what they used to call a dead fish fastball. Right out over the middle, nothing on them. As a hitter, you're begging for pitches like that to hit.
1 out, 1 on for Adam Jones. Center fielder at 283 with 25 home runs, 83 runs driven in. Jones just 1 for 9 in the series against Boston as they check on Diaz at first base.
They've had a lot of games against the Orioles where they've kind of held Jones in check.
I just think he is a fantastic player, a guy that you would pay to come and watch. Speed, power, outstanding ability in the outfield. There's not a whole lot on the diamond that he can't do.
Broke into the big leagues with the Seattle Mariners, came to the Orioles in a deal that involved Eric Bedard at the time.
Bedard never was the pitcher again that he was when he was with the Orioles.
One pitch laced foul.
That guy hung right in there to make the catch, but if you don't bring your glove, that's how bad it feels when you don't make the catch. He didn't try to get out of the way or anything. He tried to catch it, but note to self, baseballs are kind of hard and they hurt when they hit you. I'll be okay. I'm just embarrassed now.
One out, one on. Jones down to the count 0-2. Workman shaking off virtually everything that he throws.
Butler's inventing fingers to put down now.
Reaches out, protects the plate, fouls it off to the right, out of play. Did you know Fenway Park hosts more than just Red Sox games, sporting events, and concerts? Fenway Park has a variety of unique spaces to host your next holiday party, meeting, or special family event. Visit redsox.com/events or call 617-226-6791 to book your Fenway Park event today.
I, in fact, know a very nice couple that actually want to get married here at Fenway Park.
A lot of people do.
Tony and the soon-to-be Diane Basile.
Wow.
Are thinking about having their wedding here. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, a lot of different places around Fenway here where you can have an event like that.
Yeah. They offer a bunch of different packages.
The 0-2 pitch is in the air to center field. Mookie Betts going back, still going. And he'll reel it in just shy of the warning track. Back to first base goes Diaz with now 2 outs in the inning.
Very nice reaction by Betts, and you even see Jones looking out there saying, yep, that's the way a center fielder is supposed to go back on a ball. And remember, we've been spoiled all season long by JBJ out there in center field, one of the best defensive center fielders I've seen in a long time. So anybody else out there by comparison might not look as good, but Betts has held his own.
Are you surprised by how easily he has transformed himself from a second baseman to a center fielder?
I think it would be harder to go the other way.
Really?
But absolutely, yeah, it would be tougher to be a center fielder, and they say, guess what, you're playing second base. But yes, I mean, he's an excellent athlete, and I think he's picked it up very, very quickly. Center field, to me, is the easiest outfield position to play, and that ball that he just had to handle is the toughest ball a center fielder will have, the one hit right at him. Almost any other ball hit, you can get a great angle, maybe a better angle than anyone else on the field to chase it down.
First base umpire Mike Everett said he didn't offer. He's hearing it from the Red Sox dugout. Terrific year for Nelson Cruz. 39 home runs, 101 runs batted in. And a foul straight back.
Well, as soon as they signed him, I said he'd hit 40 in Baltimore. Seems he'll easily surpass that. Heck, you'd hit 17 in Baltimore.
Nah, I'd barely be scratching double figures. 9.
Oh, look at the jump.
Here's Diaz, who can walk into second base. He was halfway there when the ball was headed in.
Wow. I mean, that's the kind of jump you get as a base stealer, where you get such a great jump, you scare yourself and stop. He didn't stop. He had 5 steps before Workman even delivered the ball. Wow.
3-1 pitch, foul back above us. And a full count now for Nelson Cruz. "56 career games against the Red Sox, most of them coming as a member of the Texas Rangers, but 350 with 16 homers and 45 runs batted in. First in home runs, tied for second in RBIs. Mike Trout with 103, leading the American League in RBIs.
Better get this to the outer half of the plate.
Swing and a miss. Got him. First strikeout for Workman ends the first inning. Red Sox coming up. The first inning. Red Sox coming up in the bottom of the first as we check out their starting nine. Mookie Betts in center field leads it off with Xander Bogaerts at shortstop batting second. David Ortiz, the DH, with Yoenis Cespedes in left. Alan Craig at first base with Daniel Nava in right field. Carlos Rivero getting the start at third base with Dan Butler doing the catching. And Jamal Weeks back at second base, bats ninth. Today's Orioles starting pitcher presented by your New England Nissan dealers. Wei-Yin Chen's had a good year for the Orioles. 28 start. He's 14-4 with a 3.69 earned run average. 119 Ks. Opponent sitting at 271 against Chen. Against the Red Sox back on June 11th. 7 shutout innings with 7 strikeouts along the way. Mookie Betts leading it off and taking strike one.
A little bit of a different look to the top of the order without Brock Holt. Betts and Bogaerts.
High fly ball to left field. Diaz shading his eyes from the sun as he comes in to make the catch for the first out.
Defensively for the Orioles, around the infield, you're looking at Davis, the opposite side of the infield, playing third base. Flaherty's the shortstop. Scope and Pierce round out the infield, and then Diaz, Jones, Markakis, those guys can all run it down. And then Caleb Joseph behind the plate, catching Chen today.
One out here in the bottom of the first inning. Xander Bogaerts the batter. A carve it foul, backing out of play. Xander moving up the lineup to the 2 spot in this new look Red Sox order.
Mookie Betts had a pitch to hit and just got under it in that first at bat.
Wei-Yin Chen from Taiwan. This is a little pop up back at second base and battling the sun all the way. Scope to make the catch. 2 down. Scoop, scoop, scoop for the home team with delicious Hood Red Sox ice cream. Catch your favorites in the freezer aisle today. Always good, always Hood.
You guys are so good. You come up with the scoop, scoop, scoop right after Scope made a catch.
Yes. And it should be Scoop.
It
really.
should be.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
But he goes by Scope.
Well, he should just change it.
2 down here in the first inning. David Ortiz at 261. 32 homers. 98 runs batted in. He probably had a couple of big chances here last night. Runners at second and third and bases loaded, but could not drive in any runs. And that total still at 98 as he's looking to get to that 100 RBI plateau again.
Of course, the shift again on Ortiz, but look at the way the guys in right field are almost in a straight line. All the way into the right field seats almost.
Not a great swing there for David, and a pitch down and away. 2-1. Dealing with Wei-In Chen. Chen has lost twice in his last 20 starts. There's the line you're talking about. They're staggered.
Now, if the Orioles could put more guys on the field, they'd probably just put him over there too.
In there for a strike. David didn't like it. You can see why, where it ended up.
And when you're as good a hitter as David Ortiz is, many times if you don't swing the bat, it's not a strike. And neither was that one.
Good numbers against Chen in his career, including a home run.
I like when he gets upset about a pitch. Usually doesn't mean good things for the next pitch.
Outside and low. Chen losing just twice in his last 20 starts since May the 9th. 11-2 the last 20 starts for him. Walked a total of 23 hitters over that stretch. Fourth best walks to strikeouts ratio as this is fouled back. Do it again, 3-2.
Well, everybody all season long said the Orioles cannot stay at the top of the division because they don't have the pitching to do it. And for the first couple months of the season, they weren't very good. But you talk to anyone around the Orioles organization right now, and they say June 1st, almost every guy in their starting rotation turned it around.
Ortiz turns this around. It's a fly ball out to the triangle area. Jones going back into the triangle to make the catch. Wrong spot of the ballpark here at Fenway Park, back by the 4:20 marker. Scoreless from Fenway.
Question: which young Red Sox player have you enjoyed watching the most this season? Sox 1 for Mookie Betts. Sox 2, Xander Bogaerts. Sox 3, Brock Holt. Or Sox 4, Christian Vasquez. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates. Those may apply. Text help if you need it. Visit NESN.com/terms for all that fun legal stuff, guys.
All right, Gary, thanks very much. As we play along here to the second inning on a beautiful day in Boston. I would have to say the biggest surprise for me is Brock Holt as far as the number of different positions that he's been able to move to and be successful at, like he's been there before when he hasn't.
Yeah, I agree with you, too. I think maybe on a prolonged basis, he's been the guy who's been the most fun to watch. And no knock on Brock Holt whatsoever, because I think he's been a fantastic player. But in that grouping, he may have the least amount of raw talent of the four guys you're talking about. But he has done his job. He busts his tail every day. A way better player than people give him credit for. And the other guys that come up here and been much more heralded as athletes and ball players and potential than he ever was.
That's, to me, where it becomes a surprise, because to me, he is the biggest surprise. I mean, Mookie Betts we'd heard about, and of course started the year AA, AAA, and we knew about Xander last year, and we've seen Vasquez in spring training, know what he can do. Striking out to begin the inning is Chris Davis, his second strikeout for Workman here, and he ended up closing the first by striking out Cruz. He opens up the second by getting Davis.
Good pitch, tough pitch to throw right there. That slider down and into the lefty. If you leave that out over the plate a little bit, it tends to get hit hard. You've got to put that placement on the back leg.
One down here in the second inning for Steve Pearce. Here's 286 coming in, 16 homers and 38 runs batted in. He has been starting at first base. Of course, Manny Machado on the DL here for the O's. So Davis moves from first to third. There's a chopper to third. Rivero, 2 down. Gearing up for football season? Head on over to NESN.com/Patriots, where you can find the breakdown of the week and a whole lot more in the upcoming season. 2 down in the second inning, and it brings up Caleb Joseph, the catcher for the Orioles. 4 in a row retired by Workman. Joseph had last night off. Nick Hundley got the start for the Orioles behind the dish.
I like Joseph's bat. That's a pretty bat.
I thought you liked the way he hit. You just like his bat?
No, yeah. I mean, come on, he's a 230 hitter. I had a nice conversation with him about kind of finding his way back there, finally getting a chance to catch a little bit more, getting to know the pitcher. But look at it, his bat. I don't know if you can really see the color. It's like it looks like a black cherry Tootsie Roll pop or something like that. That looks good. I don't know if he can hit with it.
This is grounded foul.
It's got a lot of pine tar in the middle of it, but I mean, look at the coloring of the finish of his bat.
Oh yeah,
That's
that is nice. Very nice. It's like two-toned.
Yeah.
The bottom and the top, 2 different colors. But it's not going to work.
It doesn't work very much. It's got a hole in it. How many licks does it take to get?
to go. Town Fair Tire, the best prices and great free services, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Now it's on to the bottom of the second inning back at Fenway Park. No score. Yoenis Cespedes coming up to lead it off here for the Red Sox. Alan Craig, Daniel Nava featured here in the bottom of the second inning. Red Sox went in order in the first. Wei-Yin Chen gave up a long fly ball to center field by David Ortiz back into the triangle area, but Adam Jones able to run it down. Cespedes at 262 to start the day.
Well, certainly when they made the deal for this guy, they wanted to get him in here, see how he'd react to playing in Fenway, not only defensively but also as an offensive force. And I think he's answered some questions, don't you think?
I think he has, and I think you look at the trade now for the Oakland A's, and they have gone in the wrong direction since his departure. They're 8 games back of the Angels now in the American League West, and this has happened very quickly. Cespedes with a swing and a miss on the high fastball.
Their demise coincides with a pretty good run by the Angels as well to take that 8-game lead.
Oakland still in good shape in the wild card race. The season were to end today, but not the case in the West. Just a game and a half up. Tigers, then the Mariners, and the Mariners certainly a big story this year. Amazing that 3 teams could come out of the West as Cespedes strikes out first K for Chen. 4 in a row retired by Wei-Yin Chen.
Just kind of a hanging slider right there that just fooled Cespedes a little bit. Wasn't able to pull the trigger. It was a pretty good pitch to hit.
1 down here in the second inning, and it brings up Alan Craig. Foul down the right field line, out of play. Craig getting the start at first base today.
I think one of the reasons why the Orioles pitchers have been so much better is that they finally kind of listened to Dave Wallace, and Red Sox fans will remember how good Dave Wallace is as a pitching coach. And he's been preaching to them that they have to use their changeup a little more often, and almost every guy finally relented and said, you know what, it's not working the way I'm doing it now. How about I start listening to my pitching coach? And the changeup for a lot of these guys has become a very useful weapon to go along with everything else they have.
Drop in there for a strike, and it's 1-2.
For Chen, that's his pitch right there that acts like a changeup. He does throw one, but it's the big looping breaking ball that he will throw more effectively than his change.
Yeah, that was just 67 miles an hour. 1-2, he gets in on the hands and low, and it's fouled off. Down 1-2 is Alan Craig. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Chen, 2 down.
Another slider. He saw almost everything he had from him.
Two down for Daniel Nava. Right fielder today. Nava totes a .265 average coming in. Chen has retired the first 5 Red Sox that he's faced in the game.
Talk to Nava about how much harder he has to work hitting right-handed because he gets so many fewer at-bats right-handed. We've noticed most of this season when he's playing, he's hitting left-handed. Tough to stay sharp as a right-handed hitter. And then when your numbers don't look as good right-handed, they say, oh, he's not a very good right-handed hitter. It's kind of a vicious circle that just keeps going. Or would that be cycle? Circle or cycle?
I think cycle.
Okay, thanks.
I would go with cycle, but circle could work too, I think.
It just keeps coming around at you.
It just keeps going around at you. And in a circle.
Cycle and a circle almost similar.
Nava's splits 288 against right-handed pitching and 151 against lefties. But again, 260 at-bats against right-handers and only 53 at-bats against lefties.
And so he doesn't get up there very often, and then when he does, it's hard to feel like you have any kind of rhythm. But if you're a switch hitter, you would love to get consistent at-bats from both sides of the plate.
And from a power standpoint, all of his home runs, not a lot, there are 3, have come when he's on the left side. It's a ground ball this time to Flaherty at shortstop. And Chen has a 1-2-3 second inning. We are through 2 without a score from the Fens. Lions, it means it's Wally wave time here at Fenway.
Wally is getting it today, too.
A lot of kids out there today with Wally on a beautiful day from Fenway Park. And Stevie's into it. I don't know what you're doing there, but that's your own interpretation of the Wally wave.
That is not right to bring stuff like that back that I don't know is coming.
You didn't know what was happening.
No, I clearly didn't know what was happening.
Top half of the 3rd inning back at Fenway Park without a score, and we have a beautiful weather day. We have Chief Meteorologist from Fox 25, Kevin Lemanowitz, along with us. Good to see you, Kevin. How are you?
Great to see you, Don.
This has been an interesting summer from a weather perspective, but I know you had an event today here at Fenway Park. Tell us a little bit about what was going on here. Saw a lot of kids.
Yeah, Weather Education Day. So we had hundreds of kids that the Red Sox had invited to come out here today out in the bleachers and set up some speakers and talk to them about weather, and had our head groundskeeper, Dave Meller, was out there with us. Of course, we talk weather all the time about it, and that's a picture from the event today. Really, literally hundreds of students out there. But Dave talked about our partnership and how we deal with the weather here at Fenway.
You have a partnership that really works well with David Meller. I understand that you're the guy they look to in these cases. When we're getting close to a rain delay or anything that's coming, you are the guy.
Yeah, and all 3 of us, really. And me during the week, and of course Sherry in the morning, and Sarah on the weekends. And we're really, I guess.
This will go down to third base. A lot of spin on it. The throw is not in time.
That's a bummer. Well, I didn't realize how intense it was. Dave needs weather minute by minute sometimes to make calls on the games. And I was saying in the pregame show earlier that the most harrowing thing in my career is to have Dave Mellor call me, put me on speakerphone, and say, "Hey, I'm here with the umpires. And we need to talk about this rain." What? The umpires? Are you kidding me? So that's a little nerve-wracking. Being on TV is nothing, but talking to umpires, that blows me away.
These days, do you have to be a meteorologist in order to do your job?
Certainly in New England.
Yeah.
And it's become more and more around the country. You see more entertainers getting into the business, and a lot of them will do weather as a way into the business. That certainly was that way back in the beginning of TV. But now, here in New England, it's just too important.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know your stuff, people are going to see that right away.
I mean, I've been living in L.A. for the last 15 years, and they wake up every morning going, sunny.
75.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, you do not need to be a meteorologist to be a weather person in L.A., that's for sure.
Is Dallas Rain still out there?
Oh, yeah.
You got to change your
favorite
name. You got to come up with it. There was Johnny
Mountain, Dallas Rains. You got to come up with. You got to be Billy Hurricane or something.
There's a pop-up in the infield, and backing out of the way is Weeks as Flaherty takes over and makes the coming from shortstop to take over is Bogarts.
Billy Hurricane?
Yeah, something like that. You know what? You know who loves weather and should have been a meteorologist is TC. Tom Caron loves weather. Loves it.
Really?
Yes,
the weather?
Yes, he loves it. He knows everything. I can't remember the phrase he was using all the time. Scattered patches of unstable air.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
He likes the unstable
word.
air.
That's a big word for TC.
Well, it is. 3 syllables.
Mm-hmm. TC tells me, and I know this for a fact, what he does not like about weather is when he has to fill during rain delays and talk for 45 minutes about whatever.
Yeah, I'm with him on that. I got the first 45 minutes. Yeah. He gets the second 45 minutes. And it is. The other night we had a situation where it was just lightning, but no real rain actually came here at Fenway, which was weird.
That's the scariest thing to me at Fenway Park because all these people are out here, out in the open, especially out in the bleachers. We're not undercover. A lightning strike can hit when you don't have the rain happening right here at Fenway Park. And unfortunately, we had some people struck by lightning in the state during that same storm. Not here at Fenway, but that's the thing that really scares me the most about weather here at Fenway Park.
I was back in Los Angeles a couple days ago when that happened. There was a great picture in a national paper of a lightning bolt coming right down behind Fenway. Yes. It looked like it was going right through the light tower and back behind the Green Monster out there, and it was a big bolt.
Way too close for comfort. Agreed.
Nick Markakis takes a strike. We had lots of shots of that while we were sitting here watching.
Look at that.
There's one of them right there.
That means amazing. Business.
Yeah, that's for real right there.
Wow, when you see a flash like that, you know it's hit something. That's when that return stroke is going. Not to sound too geeky on you, but you know that something just got hit bad right there.
Wow.
Pitch is outside. Kevin Lemanowitz with us here from Fox 25. And now also, you do, of course, every night on NESN. Also, we're also looking to you to find out what's going on from here and to find out what we should wear to the ballpark. Also, to know whether it's going to be cold, windy like today.
It's been a great partnership. I'm thrilled. I mean, I love baseball. Baseball is my number one sport, always has been. I wasn't as good a psycho over here, but, I could play a little. And
me too, just a little.
I was a little less, apparently. So I would, to be partner with the Red Sox in any way and to take what I love, weather, and combine it with my other love, baseball, and to be able to talk to people about what the weather's going to be like at the ballpark, and really, as much as I joke about, to be in the game with the umpires and Dave Mellor to make those calls is really a thrill.
It seems to me is walking now is Markakis down to first base. His second walk given up by Workman today, and 2 on here for the Orioles. It appears to me that while the weather in Boston is one thing, it seems like Fenway Park is a different thing altogether as far as weather and patterns go. Is that my imagination, or is it this?
You could definitely see that. You can watch the flags here, and you can see how they blow in different directions at different levels of the field. You get the flags right now look like they're both blowing at the same place. But you get, especially with situations with thunderstorms nearby, you get those kind of swirling winds, and at lower levels down the ball field level, it can be different than up above around the Green Monster. So you get a high fly ball, can really be taken in different directions. And it used to be, and you may remember back in the day when it was all glassed in back here, the players would talk about how it changed the wind dynamics.
Well, Boggs used to talk about it.
Well, yeah.
He didn't like the fact that
one person
the wall.
This is out to right center field, going to drop in for a base hit. Flaherty is going to try and score. Throw from Nava will be cut off, and the Orioles take a 1-0 lead. RBI single for Alejandro Diaz. He keeps it going here for the O's.
Well, watch for location of where this pitch is and what it is. That ball pretty much, it's a hitter's paradise. If you're a left-handed hitter, they all like the ball down and in, and he just shoots it into right field here. Nava doesn't really have a chance to come up throwing here, but he makes sure he hits the cutoff man so nobody else advances to the extra bases. So nice job defensively by him.
Is that because he's running this way that he couldn't come up throwing toward home plate?
Yeah, and the ball wasn't hit all that hard. I mean, he's running to his right. He doesn't get there in time to throw a guy out. Plus, he doesn't have as much on his throw. He's kind of running away from where he has to throw the ball. So it's just there are many times in a game where a base hit to right field is just supposed to score a run. You're not going to be able to throw him out.
Gotcha.
Here is Adam Jones with 2 on, 1 out of the inning, and a run in here for the Orioles as they strike first. Jones flied out to center field in the first inning. And he lines one, a fair ball down the left field line into the corner. Round from second base comes Markakis. He will score. Diaz right in behind him. Throw from Bogaerts to the plate will be late. 2 more runs in for the O's, and they take a 3-0 lead against Brandon Workman. A 2-run double for Adam Jones into that left field corner.
This is where Workman has had his problems. It's almost like the opposing team can start to smell it when he's not got his good location. Gives up the base hit to Diaz, then right away comes right back with a pitch that just kind of hangs out over the middle of the plate. And for a guy like Jones, we talked about how good a player he is. He's not going to miss pitches like that. Just smokes it down for a double and a couple RBIs.
And it brings up Nelson Cruz with 3 runs in now for the O's. Okay, we know that what's going on here today is a beautiful day, but my question is, what can we expect this winter? Can you look further on? Is this going to be big snowy winter? What do we got ahead, you think?
No idea.
No clue.
He's a meteorologist, not a magician.
I want to know. I want answers, Kevin.
Look, meteorologists deal with day-to-day weather. When you're looking long range like that, we can look at patterns, and we've been stuck in the same kind of coolish pattern. Even though summer was fine, it was cool compared to last summer, for instance. We've been in that same way since last winter.
Deep third base. Rivera looks the runner back, and the throw cannot be dug out on the other side by Craig. And this tough inning continues for the Red Sox. E5 charged to Rivera.
Well, no reason to hurry a play like that. A lot of times if you're a third baseman, when you throw on the ball in the dirt, it's because you tried to hurry it and throw it too hard. He had plenty of time. He just kind of nonchalanted it over there, and then Craig can't dig it out. You got to get some air under that one and get it all the way in the air.
So you can't tell me whether or not I'm going to be shoveling all winter.
I can
yes,
tell
you will. Come on. Of course. It is Boston.
I can tell you that if we kept the same pattern that we're in, we've been in for 2/3 of a year now, then, yeah, we'd be cold again, and that would lead to some snow, clearly. But that pattern can shift. I don't see that coming. It looks like we're stuck in this for a while. So all signs point toward a cold and snowy winter at this point, but ask me in another 2 months.
All right, I'll check back with you. I will call you on this.
Kevin,
I'm sure.
How long did it take you to get used to the whole? Because I'm assuming you use the green screen.
Yes.
And then you're kind of watching a monitor over there, so you're doing everything off the monitor while you're being able to do this. And it's like, is it opposite what you see as you're seeing down here? It's kind of like it's like shaving in the mirror. You might poke your left eye. And
It's exactly what it is. It takes a little getting used to. Now it's second nature, of course. I've been doing this since in Boston for 18 years now, so it's second nature now. But it was kind of freaky. I did an internship back in college, and that was the first time I walked into a TV station and saw them doing that. I was like, I can't believe it. I remember when I was a kid that you drew on the maps, and there were magic markers involved.
Dr. Steve Lyons,
That's
weather
good.
guy, right? Wasn't he at the Weather Channel?
That's
Really?
right.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, your namesake.
Yeah, not me.
Not related.
He's a bald guy, He's like completely bald, but he was a big time weather guy. I believe at the Weather Channel, and sometimes people look me up and they're like, "Hey, is that you?" No.
Popped up, back goes Rivera, and he over the shoulder tried to make the catch, could not, and everybody's going to be safe. Base is now loaded for the Orioles. It is a base hit for Chris Davis, just out of the reach of Rivera.
We're seeing some ugly things go on in this inning right here. You can see because of the shift that's put on, Bogaerts is nowhere near being able to make a play. So that means Rivera has to go out pretty much like a wide receiver running a post pattern, hoping to catch that ball over his shoulder. With the sun today in the day game, that's a much more difficult play to make. And even though that's a really hard play, it just looked bad that he didn't make it.
So bases loaded, one down, and Steve Pearce, the batter. Pierce in this game has already grounded out to third base. Bases filled here with Orioles. Adam Jones at third base, Nelson Cruz at second base, and Chris Davis at first. With only one out and 3 runs already in here for Baltimore against Brandon Workman. Second time through has not been as kind to Workman as the first time through. Popped up foul off to the right, out of play.
I threw up a couple quick outs there. I thought we weren't going to get a chance to talk to Kevin very long, and the next thing you know.
Well, and I'm thinking you're probably never inviting me up here again the way this inning has gone.
I got nothing more for you.
I could pepper you with baseball questions all day long, but
I can't answer those.
Steve knows a lot about the weather, though. He can tell you about that.
I'll tell you, I couldn't be happier with the summer I've spent here in Boston this year. It's been a long time since I've been back in the area. I bought a house in Natick in 1985, and they had a huge snowstorm that winter. It's like 3 feet of snow, and then it never got above 30 for about a month and a half, so it never went away. And I moved away. I got traded that next season, and I thought, I got traded to Chicago. I'm not going to another cold weather place. So that's when I moved out to the West Coast. But, boy, I saw a lot of rain early. But then, what a beautiful summer we've had here.
I've heard a lot of people tell me how it's been too cool of a summer and they want it to be hot again.
Yeah, so you don't have to wear a suit every day to work outside like we do.
Right. Right. I'm with you. It's actually been an average numbers show. It's been an average summer. This is what's supposed to be in Boston in the summertime. It's just that we're used to hotter summers in recent years, and it just wasn't that way this year.
Workman trying to work his way out of this jam here in the inning. Pierce will take a pitch inside. So now I can put, this is interesting because I didn't know this. I knew we were partners, but I did not know that the David Meller, the head of grounds here at Fenway Park, was in touch with you. This is good to know now. Now we know what's going on here at Fenway. We now know where it's coming from.
In touch with me all the time. They warned us when we started the partnership that they may call 20 times a day.
Yeah.
And, boy, Dave has lived up to that.
Every bit of it.
I'm happy to be there, but, boy, it's crazy. And it's 7 days a week. You got to be on.
Yeah.
You know, the Red Sox are home, and it's not just games. It's concerts now and you know, races and whatever else Fenway can fit in here. They're fitting in here, and you need to know the weather for all of it and the preparations.
So they say that if there's weather in the area, once game time shows up and the game hasn't started on time, it is the umpires who determine whether or not the game's going to be played. But that's not necessarily true. It's you, isn't it? It is you.
It's Kevin
now.
Lemanowitz.
Yes.
Until that game starts, it's us.
You're the guy.
That's what I mean. I now can put a face to who I blame for this.
Well,
like, pay no attention. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
No, once the game starts, it's all up to the umpires, though. Out of my hands, they get full blame or credit for everything.
You know what is a good indicator for me here at Fenway is when they take the tarp cover off. And, like, nothing's happening right now, but they take it off, and they know something's coming.
Yep.
Now down to first base goes Pierce. Walks in a run, does Workman, and it's now 4-0. Third walk given up by Workman. Red Sox getting some stirring in their pen.
The two things we talked about at the outset of this show, fastball command, whether or not he can go to both sides of the plate and stay out of the middle of the plate, and then be able to throw the ball over the plate, period. And that's what he hasn't been able to do in this inning.
So bases reloaded here. Caleb Joseph becomes the 9th member of the Orioles to bat here in the 3rd inning. Great inning for Baltimore, not so much for Boston as the pitch is in there for a strike. Kevin Lemanowitz, we thank you very much for coming up. It was great to see you again, and we look forward to continuing our partnership.
We appreciate it.
Great to see you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Steve. Take care of that stuff.
Yeah, could you slow the wind down a little bit? It's a little windy up here today.
I'll work on that.
Stuff flying around the booth up here. And we thank Kevin Lemanowitz for joining us from Fox 25 as the Red Sox here having a tough inning in this top of the 3rd, now trailing 4-0. Workman trying to get out of the inning. Still only got one out. Into left field, a base hit. And from third base comes Nelson Cruz. He'll score, and the Orioles take a 5-0 lead. So hits keep coming here for the O's. This time Caleb Joseph picks up his 26th RBI of the year.
Well, there have been times where you feel like a guy's got to get out of there. That's really not that bad a pitch. Pretty good break to it. It was down and away from Joseph, and he was able to go out there. So when it rains, it pours every once in a while. You make some bad pitches, and they get hit, and you make some good pitches, and they get hit too. You don't know what to do. Like my weather announcement?
Yeah, I was.
You wanted to let it go, didn't you?
Into right field for a base hit, and from third comes Davis. Behind Davis, Steve Pierce will stop, but they've got a runner hung up. And we'll see if they get anybody out of this, and they do. Out at second base. So Caleb Joseph running into the out, as it turns out. Sixth run comes in for the O's.
Little confusion there at third base as to whether or not to send the runner, and they couldn't send the runner because he got a lousy jump on that ball hit to right field. A little hesitation. No way you can try to score on that. And so now you get Joseph hung up because he actually did have a good jump. Thought he was going to be going to third base.
Hit and an RBI for Ryan Flaherty, who's now 2 for 2 in the game.
Bogart said, throw it to me. I'll tag him.
Ooh, swing and a miss for Scope. Big cut there. Grounds it down the third baseline, foul, and Workman ahead 0-2.
We've seen many, many times this season where, whether it be a starter or a reliever, and it goes south for them so quickly. And a lot of times around the 5th or 6th inning, we've seen Buchholz just sail along and then get in deep trouble quickly. And it seems like sometimes you don't have a guy up there in the pen and in time to stop the bleeding. But you wouldn't think in this situation you'd need a guy in the third. So, yeah, this happened quickly for Workman, too, but you're not going to get guys up in the pen in the third inning. When your starter gets into a little bit of trouble early on, you're hoping that he can turn the page, and he hasn't been able to.
Greg Breslow warming in the Boston pen. 0-2 pitch to Jonathan Scope. And he grounds it to Rivero at third base. His throw will be in time to put an end to miserable inning for the Red Sox. A 6th spot put on the board by the O's. Kind of a cool thing today. We are using the Sony 4K stitch system in our NESN Red Sox broadcast truck today. Sony has set up 2 4K cameras, each capable of 4 times the resolution of a standard HD camera at high third position to provide a panoramic view of the ballpark so that they can take in the entire infield. The stitching is done in a Sony workstation where 2 cameras are blended seamlessly into one really wide picture. As you see there, actually 3 different angles on the same view. And this extremely high resolution image, NESN has 3 separate HD viewing ports. Can be pan, tilted separately, and zoomed in anywhere on the field. It's like having 3 different extra cameras on the broadcast, just that one camera there. This will allow you to get a shot even if a traditional game camera didn't happen to be pointing in that exact direction, because you have the panoramic view to choose from. That's pretty cool.
It is. Can we see the cameraman again, too?
There's the look he has.
Yeah, that's what he's looking at.
There's your cameraman.
He's stuck behind there now.
There's a ground ball to third base. Davis to his left, and Rivero is out number 1 of the inning. So Wei-Yin Chen now has a 6-0 advantage to work with today. And the first out of the bottom of the 3rd inning. This series has really been all Orioles. Red Sox have put together 1 run so far in the series. Dan Butler getting the start today. So far 0 for 11 in his major league career. A little Sox culture for Dan Butler. Authentic Mexican food. Always wanted to visit Europe. Tim McGraw. If he wasn't a player, he would be a firefighter.
I'm not sure if I know the difference between authentic Mexican food and the counterfeit kind.
Have you spent any time in Mexico?
Very little.
Okay. I didn't know if you were there for winter ball or anything else.
That was one of the places I missed. Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Colombia. No Mexico.
Seven in a row retired by Chen to begin the game. It's good to have our friend Kevin Lemanowitz on with us here last inning, and we look forward to continuing that great partnership over the years. And
he's a nice guy, isn't he?
Very nice guy. He brought up some good points, though, about not being a meteorologist. This is in the air to right field down the line, and Markakis over and in to make the catch for the second out. Well, the most popular way to follow September pennant races is with the MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, replay reviews, scores, live radio broadcasts, the MLB.tv game of the day, and more. Get at bat for your smartphone or tablet on the App Store, or visit MLB.com. So you think Dallas Raines and Johnny Mountain's name's not real?
Probably not. Well, Dallas Raines has a son whose name is Austin.
Austin Raines?
Austin Raines, yes. Instead of Dallas. He's a good thing he didn't have more kids. He'd run out of Texas cities, I guess. I don't know.
The first time I noticed out in L.A. that the weather people there, they were the first kind of people to have the full look. Like you could see from shoes to the top of their head.
Oh, yeah.
And they show the entire map. I mean, nothing's happening. You're right. It's like 75 degrees every day, but they make it look good.
Oh, yeah.
Really good.
They have the traffic reporter.
Yeah.
On the morning news. Looks like she's going straight to a club.
Maybe she is.
Oh.
2-1 the count to Jamal Weeks.
Los Angeles.
Yes. Two strikeouts today for Wei-Yin Chen. Weeks getting back-to-back starts at second base. Close pitches. Then he falls behind 3-1.
Ordinarily, I'd say if you're a guy like Weeks, you might be looking to take in this situation, try to get back in the game. But at this point in the season, and you're a guy like Weeks coming in here trying to show them what you can do, you better be looking dead red and looking to drive the ball somewhere. That's what he was trying to do. He just fouled it off. You know, he's got to make an impression. He's got to come in here and show them what they traded for so that this organization can figure out if there's a reason for him to be around next year.
There's a lot of guys in that same boat right now for the Red Sox that are here.
Crowded house.
Fly ball to right field. Markakis has it sized up. Now coming in on it to put it away. Chen has a 1-2-3 third. It's 6-0 Baltimore through 3. Community strong. That's why they've been named the #1 SBA lender in Massachusetts 5 years in a row. Eastern Bank, here your first. Orioles on top 6-0 as we head to the top half of the 4th inning back at Fenway Park. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by your local New England Ford dealers. And Craig Breslow first out of the pen today for the Red Sox into the game here in the 4th inning. 57th appearance, 2-4 with a 4.88 earned run average. 34 strikeouts, 28 walks, and opponents hitting at .295 against Craig Breslow.
Clearly not the same season as a year ago for Craig Breslow. And coming off of that season last year, you'd never dream of him being in a position that he is right now, coming in a 4th inning of a ball game, when last year he was a back of the rotation kind of guy.
Faced only one batter on Saturday against Toronto, and he gave up a pinch hit 2-run home run to Kobe Rasmus. One of the runs were charged to Buchholz, an inherited runner. And it's been that kind of year for him. He was so reliable last year for the Red Sox out of the pen. Nick Markakis, Alejandro Diaz, and Adam Jones here in the 4th inning. Fouled off to the left, out of play. The Brandon Workman's pitching line brought to you by Ace Tickets. And the line today, 3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs. 5 of the 6 are earned. He walked 3, struck out 3. 62 total pitches, and really things came unglued in the 3rd inning. Only 1 inning, hadn't given up a hit through the first 2.
He's really been bitten badly in a situation where if he gives up 6 hits, he gives up 6 runs. He gives up 7 hits, he gives up 7 runs. You got to be able to spread those hits around and not give up any runs. That's what Chen does so well for the Orioles.
Breslow able to strike out Nick Markakis for the first out here of the 4th inning.
Not a whole lot to it, right on the kneecaps.
There is Alejandro Diaz, who's had a big series for Baltimore. He's been on twice in this game. A walk, stolen base in the first inning, then a single and an RBI in the third. Punched at it, according to home plate umpire Adrian Johnson. So a ball and a strike now to Diaz. Diaz 3 for 4 last night. Came into today's game 4 for 8. A walk and an RBI single in this game today. In there for a strike, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, that's the kind of pitching that we've seen Breslow been able to do. Keep the ball down, keep the ball off the middle of the plate. Those are tough pitches to hit.
Swing and a miss, and he makes quick work of Diaz. Back-to-back strikeouts for Breslow, 2 down.
Pretty good deception and velocity out of Breslow right there.
2 down here in the 4th inning, and it brings up Adam Jones. He is flied out to center and doubled to drive in 2 runs in the 2nd inning. RBIs 84 and 85 on the year for Jones. Just outside the bag at third. Well, tomorrow on an all-new Bruins Face-Off Live, join Dale Arnold and Barry Peterson as they discuss the David Krejci extension, continue their Atlantic Division preview with a look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, and much more. All on Bruins Face-Off Live tomorrow at 6:30.
I think with the score of the game, you really have to keep the ball down and away from Jones. I think he's going to be looking to get the head out and pop one over the left field wall. Doubled down that line his last time. He's fouled 2 balls off down the left field line. Figuring, what the heck, I'm in Fenway Park. We've got a 6-0 lead. I might as well try to hit one up into the monster seats.
This one fouled straight back. Shadows making their way to the home plate area. And you get the flag of Gust also kind of over the home plate area down there as well.
Yeah, that might bother me a little bit up at the plate. Kind of that flickering look. Obviously your concentration is on the release point of the pitcher, but your peripheral can see that, except for now the sun just went behind a cloud. And now it's
ruins our whole thing.
Now we can hit better.
It'll bounce in well short of the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. And the Red Sox have no shortage of relievers. You're thinking about Workman leaving this game after 3 innings. 10 relievers in the bullpen for John Farrell, using his first of the day. And Craig Breslow has 2 strikeouts here in the top half of the 4th inning. Jones will pop it up. That goes Craig and Weeks. Craig into foul ground is going to make the catch. That ends the inning. Breslow has 1, 2, 3, 4th. It's 6-0 Baltimore. Bank is committed to putting you first. Learn all the ways Eastern puts you first at easternbank.com. Back at Fenway Park, beautiful day at the yard, but so far the results not great for the Red Sox, who trail in this game 6-0. Youngster not happy at all. Let's see why. It's 6-0. Mookie Betts leading it off here for Boston. Top of the order, second time through. Wei-Yin Chen has retired all 9 Red Sox that he's faced in the game, and 2 by way of the K.
I think Red Sox fans at a certain point during the season had to realize that they were going to see a lot of this type of baseball down the stretch after the Red Sox had fallen out of the race and started calling up some of their younger players. Coming to a game these days here over the next month or so, you're coming to watch a guy like Mookie Betts, see what he can do. Coming to watch Xander Bogaerts improve, see what Cespedes has, and some of these other guys, some of the newer members of this club.
Now, for the first time ever, the purple pill is available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Introducing Nexium 24-hour. This is Nexium level protection. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, and it is 2-2. Mookie Betts flying out to left field, first time up, 0 for 1. Stays alive as he sprays it foul off to the right.
Remember Gary Sheffield with the way he used to wrap his bat up around his head. Betts isn't anywhere near what Sheffield used to do, but he has a timing mechanism that he uses by kind of waggling that bat back and forth a couple of times while the pitch is on the way to get himself ready to hit.
Remember the force in which Gary Sheffield would swing once he got it going. Very tough to stop it.
Oh. He and Julio Franco, remember Julio Franco wrapped all the way up. You got to be a strong guy to do that kind of stuff. Mookie's just getting himself timed.
Jonathan Scope, the win plays with it, second baseman, making the catch for the first out of the 4th inning. Let's take a look at today's list, brought to you by Benjamin Moore. Red Sox players 21 or younger with 10-plus home runs in a season. You got Xander Bogaerts, Dwight Evans with 10 in 1973, Tony Canigliaro with 24 in 64, 32 in 1965 when he was just 20 years of age. Ted Williams, 31 in 39. He was 20, 23 in 1940 when he was 21. Bobby Doerr had 12 in 1939.
Pretty good list to be on.
Yes, it is. Xander's on it. If you have a comment about today's list, tweet us at #NESSONList. Shift on for Bogaerts. We don't see this every day. They're stacking it up on the left side against Bogaerts, or they were, as now the second baseman Scope heads over back to the right side of the infield now that it's 0-2. He was on that left side stacked up first 2 pitches.
You can overthink it sometimes.
Pop-up foul ground.
It's going to come back.
Pierce is ready for it, and he makes the catch, 2 down. School is back in session, but specially priced Red Sox tickets for students are still available for every Sox game. Tickets start at just $9, so go to redsox.com/student to take advantage of this great offer today. A lot of kids here today. Part of the weather education day here at Fenway Park, as we found out. 2 down in the 4th inning. David Ortiz, 0 for 1. He flied out to the deepest part of the ballpark here, out at the 420 marker and on the triangle, but Adam Jones was back there to make the catch.
They're probably going to stay away from Ortiz. It'd be a good time for him to use that patented opposite field swing that he uses so well. Obviously, he has complained about the shift all season long. He feels like it takes about 40 hits a year away from him. You see everybody on that right side. Seems like that would make you think harder about going the other way. And he does it so well.
On the ground, the shortstop Flaherty. Left side of the infield throws him out and ends the inning. Red Sox down in order again, trailing 6-0.
Scoreless innings in his big league debut. So, heck, why don't we throw him into the rotation, right? Not so fast, according to John Farrell. He explains in our Geico quote of the day.
Last night was impressive. I can't say that because of a 3-inning stint last night, does it now move him into the rotation? We're not at that point. We want to take the remaining games in September and get his feet wet, and we're doing that.
Now, certainly a very good outing last night for Matt Barnes in his first major league outing. Did not appear to be in awe of the situation at all, and it's cool to have his family here as well to watch it. Is certainly the highlight of last night's game for the Red Sox and the future. Very well likely in the rotation in the future. Not yet, but a pretty good night for him last night.
Well, it's nice to see a guy come up, and when you get the bright lights on the big stage, that you handle it and go out and continue to pitch the way you've pitched all season long. A nice season for him.
Yeah, first round draft choice of the Red Sox and a very good year for the Pawtucket Red Sox.
Are you at all surprised at how many guys from that Pawtucket team are here now already?
Absolutely.
While Pawtucket's still very much in the running to win the Governor's Cup.
Game 2 coming up. A situation where I think you want to have guys who win at some level to get a feel for it. And you have that opportunity going on right now, but most of them are here, and I get it. I mean, they're here to get a look and see what you got moving forward, which is more important than perhaps that. But at the same time, you know, those guys, they are all here, it appears.
Yeah, when you look at certain guys, I know Barnes got in there last night, but Jackie Bradley Jr. is not getting that much playing time being here. Could be helping Pawtucket win a championship. They've only won championships in '84 and 2012. They're few and far between.
There's Jackie Bradley Jr. He's had one start since being called back up again.
Now, if you ask the player, he may say, I'd rather be here. I'm in the big leagues.
Major league time is major league time.
Yep. I can tell you one of the most disappointing days I ever had was the same day that the team I played on in 1984 won the Governor's Cup in Pawtucket. We won the championship that year. And during that celebration, they called me in and said I was not going to go to the big leagues afterwards. I felt like I had a good enough year to do it. Was pretty disappointed.
Who was on that team with you in '84, if you remember?
Not many guys, really. Only a few of those guys actually made it to the big leagues. Mark Sullivan.
Yep.
Brian Denman was up and down there. A lot of fun. I think one of the reasons they said you're not going to go to the big leagues was because Boggs was trying to win another batting title. They wanted to make sure that he got enough at-bats to do it. And I said, fine, I don't care. All I want to do is sit on the bench, call my mother, and tell her that I made it.
Now Chris Davis batting here with 1 down in the 5th inning. Four in a row retired by Breslow since coming in from the pen. 2 strikeouts, a foul out, and a ground out for the left-hander. Davis shoots it foul off to the left. Today's twisted but true fact of the game. The Orioles are trying to become the 4th team since 1920 to have 2 players win the home run title in consecutive years. Chris Davis, of course, had 53 last year. Nelson Cruz currently leads the majors this year with 39. 1936 and 37, Lou Gehrig and Joe DiMaggio. 87, 88, McGuire and Canseco. 93, 94, Barry Bonds, and then Matt Williams. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea is the refreshing hard iced tea. Tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. The fly ball to shallow left. In comes Cespedes running on a slant. Makes the catch for the 2nd out of the 5th inning. Two down for Steve Pearce. He was grounded out to third base and walked today. And just joining us, Brandon Workman. 3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned. Walked 3, struck out 3, and Orioles getting all 6 of their runs in the same inning, the top half of the 3rd. The 25th pitch since Breslow has come into this game. Red Sox losing 3 straight in 5 of their last 7 games. Not missing by a lot, but Breslow falling behind now, 3-0, trying to grab that corner unsuccessfully.
We're talking there about the nice job that Matt Barnes did, and I don't know how many people tuned in earlier for the pregame show with TC and Tim Wakefield, but Matt Barnes actually joined them on stage, which doesn't happen too often. So he went across the street over to the pregame set and hung out with the boys. So that's nice of him to do it. Gave the fans a little bit of a chance to get to know him a little bit better.
3-1 pitch, and that one eats up. Rivero at third base, down into the left field corner quickly as Pearce heads for second base. Cespedes still having trouble getting it out. He still didn't have it right away. And into second base with a double goes Pearce. 2 down in the inning and now into scoring position.
Rivero's getting picked on down there at third base. This is a hot smash down there at third. It's a tough play because watch him dive for it. It's almost a dive in slow motion. If he dives all out, you almost go past the ball. He can't reach it without diving because it's just a quick step to his right, but he has to try to kind of time it and get there at the same time. Just another really difficult play for him down there at third.
Breaks up a string of 5 in a row retired by Breslow. And Caleb Joseph sends this foul down the right field line. Saturday on Dining Playbook with Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson. Visit Salvatore's in the Theater District. Sail on to the Charles and chat on the field with Brock Holt and Christian Vasquez. It all began Saturday morning at 9 on Dining Playbook. Top foul, and that sends Vasquez down to his knees. Or rather, not Vasquez, Butler.
That might have caught him right between the padding of those shin guards. Yep, right up in between the pads, right at the point of the knee when you're bent over. That's not a lot of fun. Those things have to shift around and move, obviously, as the catcher moves, and there's little gaps in there that you can be a little bit more exposed.
Fouled back, still 1-2. Caleb Joseph, a strikeout victim in the second inning. He went swinging and then had an RBI single. It's part of the big 6-run third inning for the O's. Enjoy the rich taste of Farmhouse Blend coffee from Cumberland Farms. It's made from 100% Arabica coffee for the perfect balance of aroma, body, and taste. Stop in today for a cup of do-it-yourself coffee perfection for only 99 cents, any size. Two outs, Pierce at second base. Caleb Joseph down in the count, 1-2. Talking about the Pawtucket Red Sox earlier. They play game 2 of these Governor Cup finals tonight at home, McCoy Stadium, against the Durham Bulls, Tampa Bay's AAA affiliate. Defeated the Bulls last night 3-2. In the series opener, Paw Sox are aiming to join the Gulf Coast League Red Sox, Boston's second affiliate to win championship this year.
And a great organization that they have down there with Lou and Mike. The late Ben Mondor, one of the best ownerships that I ever played for.
Best ownerships I've ever worked for.
Great family atmosphere down there, and put a tremendous product on the field. Just a lot of fun anytime you're there.
This is driven to left field. Joseph sending one deep and far, and that is gone. Up on top and out of the yard. A 2-run home run for Caleb Joseph, his 9th of the year. He's now being told by the umpiring crew that he can make his way around. It's 8-0 Baltimore. He wasn't entirely sure. It hit up on that shelf above the Green Monster, and a 2-run home run.
Joseph fixed the hole in that lollipop bat, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
The pretty red bat hitting balls out of the ballpark. And hit it right off the top of the fence. So the monster up there. And back onto the field of play. It was kind of funny. He stood between first and second, staring at the second base umpire as the umpire was saying, "That's a home run," circling his finger, and he still didn't want to go into second base.
So Breslow tagged again with another home run. He had given up a home run his last outing against Rasmus. And now, after retiring the first 5 Orioles he faces, gives up the double to Pierce and the home run to Joseph. Flaherty grounds one by the mound very softly. Jamal Weeks will not be able to make a play. Kind of picked it up in the heel of his glove, and Flaherty reaches at first base.
I think that's going to be a base hit all the way. I'm not sure that Weeks would have had a play had he fielded that cleanly.
Has been ruled a base hit, and Flaherty now 3 for 3 in the game.
Kind of one of those jam shots as a hitter where you're like, wow, I hope I can just put this in the right spot where no one can make a play. There's the vision from the 4K camera.
One fouled back by Scope.
Not sure that I want a camera on me that's 4 times better than HD.
Well, we have enough on us. I think HD is one of the great inventions of all time for sports. It's terrible for announcers, really bad, and it's great for sports. I mean, the actual game, it's awesome.
But then people actually see what you look like.
Yeah,
oh, man,
it's bad, really.
It's
like extreme
really
close-up. It's not pretty.
Not good.
It really isn't.
Yeah. Especially, after after a late night.
See, you get all of this now in HD. Really bad. Really bad.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Go away.
And then they put a camera right in the booth, right in your grill, right here.
Yeah, that's
very close.
That is extreme close-up. Good thing it's on your side.
On the ground, foul outside of third, and we'll do it again, 0-2. Flaherty at first base, 2 down in the inning. And a foul off to the right, out of play.
Ball girl down the line. Sweet glove. And a tip of the cap and everything. Big smile. That's the way I used to feel when I caught one. Just so happy.
Scope swings and misses, and Breslow strikes him out to end the inning. 2-run home run for Caleb Joseph has the Orioles on top 8-0. BaltimoreToyota.com. On to the bottom of the fifth inning at Fenway Park, 8-0. The Orioles have the lead over the Red Sox, out hitting the Red Sox 9-0. Wei-Yin Chen has retired the first 12 Red Sox that he has faced in the game. Cespedes, Craig, and Nava coming up here for Boston. Cespedes, a strikeout victim in the second inning. He went looking. Strike over the inside corner. Orioles getting 6 in the third, 2 in the fifth for Chen. He's trying to get his 15th win of the year. Cespedes drives this out to deep center field. Adam Jones going back to make the catch on the warning track. He went into a sprint and got back to where he thought it was going to be, and then he turns and makes the catch out there on the dirt of the track.
Kid knows how to play center field. Excellent job. And what was that? A balloon animal he retrieved out there?
Might have been
Center field. A lot of people think that if you turn one way to chase a ball in center field, you have to turn back the same way. You don't. He turned one way to run and go get it, and then turned back the other way to catch it. Nothing wrong with that.
One out in the fifth inning. Alan Craig.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here. We've seen Chen all season long have an outstanding year for him. Looking for his 15th win on the season. He's mixed his pitches well, but I don't think he has no hit kind of stuff, does he?
Out to right center field, and diving out there is Markakis, and he comes up with it. Nick Markakis able to make the catch in right field. Remember that one if we start talking about no hitters later on.
He took kind of a funny route on this ball, like the ball wasn't hit quite as hard as he thought originally, but then he made the adjustment, kind of came back to it and made the dive. See him going towards the wall. Now he makes the adjustment, cuts back to his left a little bit, and makes the play.
I thought that thing was coming out too.
Snow cone.
Wei-Yin Chen likes it. It's out number 2 of the fifth inning. So 2 balls hit pretty well. One to the warning track in center, one out to deep right field, but 2 down. And here's Daniel Nava, who takes strike 1. To center field. Back goes Jones again, and this one an easier try as he makes the catch. It ends the inning. Chen has retired the first 15. The Orioles have an 8-0 lead. It's 24 starts, 7-8 with a 5.29 earned run average. And he matched up against Liam Hendricks this season with Toronto and Kansas City. He's been in 5 games with 4 starts, 1-1 with a 4.81 earned run average. Closer Look is brought to you by FW Web. For an even closer look, visit FWWeb.com. Now we head into the 6th inning. New pitcher on for Boston now, Tommy Lane, into his 22nd game of the year. 2-1 with a 1.15 earned run average. 15 2/3 innings, 10 Ks to 7 walks, and opponent's hitting at 173 against Lane. Faced a batter in the 7th inning Monday night in game 1 of the series. They get Chris Davis to ground out before being removed for Alex Wilson at the time. So, second appearance of the series for Lane, and it's the top of the Orioles order here in the 6th inning. Nick Markakis.
Now you look at that upcoming series there in Kansas City with Hendricks going for the Royals, a guy who hasn't had that much experience out there. I mean, big start for him, especially. I think Clay Buchholz is one of the last pitchers that Kansas City wants to see right now. He's turned things around. He looks good on the mound. Huge series for them, not so much for the Red Sox.
And Kansas City beginning the day tied with the Tigers now in the AL Central, as the Royals had lost 2 in a row. All of a sudden the Tigers have won 3 in a row. So they are now tied up.
Down the stretch, if I was on a contending team, I always wanted to play against a contending team. I didn't want to play against a team that was out of it. They're dangerous. They've got nothing to lose. Too many guys out there trying to make an impression. I would rather play against a team that I thought maybe the pressure might be getting to them. No pressure on the Red Sox going down to Kansas City.
Strike 3 call. Markakis is rung up as Tommy Lane strikes him out. First out of the 6th inning.
Tommy Lane's going to be really happy if he gets this pitch to be called a strike all day. If you're the hitter, you don't really like that.
Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 1 out in the 6th inning, and it brings up Alejandro Diaz, who has walked, singled, and struck out. His single in the 3rd produced his 35th RBI of the year. Hey, Red Sox Nation, get a free medium beverage when you enroll in the Dunkin' Donuts Rewards Program DD Perks. Then just pay with your registered DD card or the DD mobile app to earn points towards more free beverages. It's Dunkin's way of rewarding their loyal fans. Enroll today at ddperks.com. The Red Sox run on Dunkin'. One out, a ball and a strike here to Alejandro Diaz. To left center, Betts on the run will get there. Sinking line drive, and Mookie Betts takes a base hit away from Diaz.
That is a base hit too, Don. I mean, that was excellent first step quickness out of Mookie Betts, and that's what you're looking for. Watch him, top of your screen. As soon as that ball's hit, he's on the move. To me, that's what I'm looking for. How quickly do you make your move towards the ball? There's a lot of guys that have great speed in center field, but if you outplay them, if you outposition them, you can be a better center fielder. If you combine great instincts with good speed, you have a chance to be a pretty good outfielder.
2 down here in the 6th inning. Adam Jones 1 for 3 in the game. The one part, a double that knocked in 2 runs. As him jumping back out of the way of a pitch down and in. Down the right field line, foul just above the tarp area. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, now offers walk-in urgent care in Chestnut Hill. It's open 10 hours a day for minor emergencies. For more information, go to bidmc.org/Chestnut Hill.
You know, you did that Dunkin' Donuts read so nicely.
Thank you.
Made me want to have a Dunkin' Donut.
Really?
Yeah.
We have them here in the booth, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're here all the time.
Are they on their way? Have you?
No, you know where they are now?
Where?
Already down in the truck. Now, what is that? So
they've already been taken.
Oh, yeah. Producers and directors are killing those donuts down there. But can I get a donut? No.
Nope. That has to happen in the first 3 innings, I think, because that's when they come up and they take them down. So they're gone. There'll be no donuts for you.
I'm going to have to get used to the program, I guess. How are those donuts down there, guys? Jeez.
They said for Adam Jones. Yeah, they enjoyed them. They're enjoying them now. Jones is 2 for 4 today, his second hit of the afternoon, and he's aboard at first base with 2 down as Nelson Cruz stands in. Only time he has reached in this game an error. Miscue by Rivero at third base.
Adam Jones not so quiet in this game.
Think about how good this lineup would be if Machado still in the lineup and, of course, Matt Wieters. I mean, those are 2 big losses for them.
And they didn't miss a beat. Really a testament to how well this Oriole team has played this year. Incredible power numbers. 49% of their runs come via the home run ball. That's, if they keep that up for the rest of the season, that'll be the second best in the history of the game. 2012 Blue Jays scored runs via the home run 53% of the time. Is Earl Weaver managing that club? Just hang around and wait for the 3-run homer? Buck Showalter.
Down the line at third. That's a fair ball. Headed towards the left field corner is Adam Jones. Headed for third, and he'll be stopped there. It is a double for Nelson Cruz. And it's second and third with 2 down. Back-to-back hits here for the O's in the 6th inning.
Cruz now with the 27 doubles as he sneaks this one down the line to go along with the 39 homers. It's a pretty darn good year. Remember, he signed just a 1-year deal with the Orioles, didn't he?
Yes. He is
1-year free agent, $8 million. He's going to
get a little more than that next year.
Might triple that.
Second and third, 2 down. Chris Davis, the batter. He singled in the 3rd inning, 1 for 3.
I know there will be some teams that come knocking on his door with a lot of money, but if you're Nelson Cruz, knowing the season that you had for this team this year and how good a year this team has had, wouldn't you want to come back?
You would think so. Now, one pitch is going to miss. Looked like a pretty good pitch, but called the ball. 1-1. Lane got Marquez to strike out, Diaz to fly out, but single for Jones, followed up by the double by Cruz, and it's second and third. Davis to foul it off himself. Alex Wilson up in the pen now for Boston. Already seen Breslow and Lane out of the pen.
Check out this replay right here. That's a pitch last year that Davis would hit into the seats. It would have been a 3-run shot. His home run's way down this year in comparison with last year. And it's just pitches like that where you normally square it up, hit it hard somewhere, foul that one off his foot.
Yeah, 53 home runs a year ago, 26 this year. And a pop-up sending Bogaerts to short left field, and he'll give way to the left fielder, Cespedes, who makes the catch that ends the inning. 5.5 done from Fenway. It's 8-0 Baltimore. Your photo to hashtag NESSONFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in our broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. Today's fan photo is from Andrew G., who spent Aussie Father's Day here with his family on Sunday at Fenway Park. 8-0 Baltimore on top of Boston as we play into the bottom of the 6th inning. Red Sox still looking for their first base runner of the day. Wei-Yin Chen has started the day, retiring the first 15. Carlos Rivero grounded out to third base in the 3rd inning, 0 for 1. To third and picked on a hop by Davis, who has to throw out Rivero, and he does. Second time that Rivero has grounded out to his counterpart at third base. One out for Dan Butler. Still looking for his first hit in the major leagues. Butler coming in at 0 for 12.
Well, it's just nice to see Butler up here. This is a guy who had a pretty good season 2 years ago, but then because of the evolution of Christian Vasquez and then Swihart behind him, he saw his playing time diminish a little bit. Getting a little bit of a look here at the major league level. I like two things about this guy. Number one, he's a decent receiver behind the plate. Number two, he's a great influence in the clubhouse. He's always smiling. Looks like a guy who's always having a good time. Looks like Yukon Cornelius from the Rudolph Claymation.
Drives this to left field, and this ball is struck well off the wall. The carom to Jones. His throw to second base will be late. Into second base is Dan Butler. He's got himself a double. Breaks up the no-hit bid today by Chen and gets his first major league hit.
Breaks up the no-hitter and gets to keep the baseball. That ball's walloped off the left field wall. Just a beautiful compact swing. And he knows, he hasn't been here that long, but he knows you better get on your horse. Because when you're a catcher, and Jones is out there in center field, he can throw you right out at second base if you're not hustling.
So that takes care of that. Wei-Yin Chen retiring the first 16 batters he faced today for the double by Butler. First major league hit. And here's Jamal Weeks. Weeks flied out to right field in the 3rd inning, 0 for 1. First hit of the day for Boston comes here with 1 out in the 6th inning.
Talking with Caleb Joseph before the game, the Orioles catcher, he said, you know, I've had my opportunity to catch these guys a little bit more, and he said Chen's one of those guys that just doesn't show a lot of emotion on the field. He literally gets better when he gets himself in trouble. Seems like he'll sail along and then get himself in trouble and then bear down and get guys out. He's given up more hits than innings pitched, and yet he's having a tremendous year.
He's pitching line to this point in the game, giving up his first hit. 5 1/3 deep into the outing.
Strikeout to walk ratio is about 4 to 1. Doesn't walk guys, doesn't get himself in trouble. A lot of times if he gives up a home run, it's a solo shot. I remember a pretty darn good pitcher for the Orioles that did that same thing. Anytime he gave up a home run, it was only a solo home run. Never gave up 3-run bombs. Jim Palmer.
And never gave up a grand slam in his career.
Yeah.
Weeks hits a fly ball out to right center field. Markakis in the sun field makes the catch for the 2nd out. Butler remains at second base. Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway. All the 200% guaranteed. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Treat yourself or someone special. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. 2 down in the 6th inning. Top of the order, Mookie Betts. 0 for 2 in the game. He has flied out to left and popped out to second base. Ball and a strike to Betts.
Mookie starting to figure some things out at the major league level, hitting well over 300 since his most recent callback.
Very comfortable in this leadoff spot because this is what he has done at the minor league level in AA and AAA before arriving here with Boston. And of course, Brock Holt kind of solidified that spot until now. Fly ball out to left field. Diaz calling and catching out number 3 of the inning. Red Sox get their first hit of the day, but trail 8-0 through 6. Specializing in all of your cleaning and wellness needs, WB Mason also provides a full selection of 3M safety products that can't be struck out. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? 7th inning back at Fenway Park, 8-0. Orioles on top. And a new pitcher on for the Red Sox. Alex Wilson becomes their 4th of the day. 13th appearance overall for him. 1-0 with a 2.42 earned run average. 14 strikeouts to 5 walks, and opponents hitting at .225 against Wilson. This one fouled back. Steve Pearce, just out of the reach of Steve Psycho Lyons.
Yes. I don't have that kind of length.
Pierce grounded out in the second, walked in the third before doubling in the fifth inning. Bouncing in, kicks off of Butler. Wilson takes over for Tommy Lane, who worked the sixth inning. 1 inning, 2 hits, no runs. Didn't walk anybody, struck out a batter. On the hook right now for Boston, their starter today, Brandon Workman. In his 14th start of the year, Workman lasted just 3 innings, giving up 6 runs, 5 earned. Walked 3, struck out 3, and the inning was the third that the Orioles did the bulk of their damage. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation, which helps children battling cancer, students trying to afford college, soldiers returning from war, kids playing in little leagues and on RBI programs, and families in need of holistic, comprehensive health care. This is the work of the Red Sox Foundation. Pierce with a swing and a foul tip into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. Alex Wilson strikes out the first Oriole he faces today.
It's a good old country hardball right there. Just threw it right by Pierce. Pierce was one of those guys that had about a 2 or 3 week period where he really carried this Oriole team. There's been a bunch of different guys at different times that have really stepped up that has helped this club be in first place the way they are.
Joseph pops it up. And in from center comes Mookie Betts. Jamal Weeks had ducked back there, but Betts had an easier play and handles out number 2 of the inning. But don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union, tomorrow at 7:30. TC and Jim Rice will continue the top 30 Red Sox moments on NESN. Countdown is to number 17. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? 2 outs in the 7th inning for Ryan Flaherty, who's had a good day today. Goes around for strike 1, the Maine native.
Yeah. One of TC's favorite players. TC's from Maine. I think, there's only like 7 people from Maine, so they all stick together. Is that it?
I think there's a few more.
Yeah, I think. TC goes out of his way to tell you how many people are from Maine.
Three hits and an RBI for him in this game today. Popped up. Racing back Rivero towards the seats, and he will not have a play. It is a foul ball. Down to that area, it's very dangerous how easily that can fall fair.
Yes. There's not a lot of foul room there if you don't catch it. It's a different view of it for you. So if you're from Maine, technically you're a Mainer.
Yes.
But don't we all like Maniac better?
That would be an interesting take on it. Yeah, Maniac. Well, you might.
Yeah, don't the people from Maine
Being
embrace that?
A psycho.
Well, yeah.
And a maniac.
Do they embrace the Maniac moniker?
I don't think so. I think they're still going with Mainer.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, as far as I know.
If I was from Maine, I'd love to be. Yeah, I'm a maniac. I like that.
That's you. You also go by psycho.
Yeah, I guess I can't speak for the whole state.
This one is fouled off. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy will make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 donation once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. 2 down in the 7th inning. Ryan Flaherty down in the count 1-2. Bouncing in for ball 2. Line foul back into the grandstand off to the right. Flaherty stays alive here, 2-2. Looks like everybody's all right over there, and a souvenir in hand. Checking to make sure everybody's all right. They are.
Well, he caught the ricochet, so you got to make sure the person that it bounced off of is okay.
Ground ball right side. Jamal Weeks plays the high hop and throws out Flaherty to end the top of the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch. It's 8-0 Orioles. Only at Southwest.com. We play on to the bottom of the 7th inning back at Fenway Park. Orioles on top 8-0 out hitting the Red Sox 11-1. Changes for the Orioles, and these have been standard changes in all 3 games of this series. Defensively, Kelly Johnson taking over third base, and Chris Davis moving from third to first base. Xander Bogaerts leads it off and drives this to deep left field towards the pole, and that ball is gone. Home run for Xander Bogaerts, his 11th of the year, and the Red Sox get on the board here in the 7th inning.
That's just smart hitting right there by Xander Bogaerts. He knows that Chen's got the big lead. He's probably going to come first pitch fastball, and you go up there looking to ambush one. Gets that bat head out. So much better balance than what we had seen through the middle part of this season, and just hits a laser down the line.
Now David Ortiz 0 for 2 in the game. David has flied out to the warning track in center and grounded out to shortstop.
When you're a pitcher into the 7th inning and you've only thrown 75 pitches and we're flirting with a no-hitter, you go up there challenging hitters. If you're a hitter in that situation, you go up there looking for first pitch dead red.
Bogaerts was, and he connects on his 11th home run of the year against the Red Sox on the board. Alltown, New England's premier convenience retailer, is committed to supporting the communities they serve. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Visit alltown.com for an Alltown location near you. Out towards right center field, and this is going to get down. Jones can't cut it off. It's back at the wall. He's heading for second base. Big Poppy. He'll get there standing. A double here for David Ortiz and his 3rd at bat of the day.
Boy, that's pretty when he drops the bat head right through the hitting zone there and just squares one up. Sometimes you can put 15 guys on the right side. Nobody's going to be able to find a way to catch it.
So a home run and a double for the Red Sox to begin things here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And when Cespedes standing in, 0 for 2 today. Cespedes struck out looking in the 2nd, flat out to the warning track in center in the 5th. Red Sox have action in their pen. Shinichi Tozawa warming. Already seen Breslow, Lane, and Wilson out of the pen today for Boston.
We talked about Chen, and when he does give up a home run, generally it's a solo shot. It's a 23rd home run he's given up all season, but in his last 11 starts, he has not given up more than 1 in any of those. Keep the ball in the ballpark, you got a chance to win.
Popped up. Flaherty, the shortstop, calling and catching the first out here of the 7th inning. Well, tune in tonight at 10 p.m. for NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Jamie and Adam will have Matt Chatham in studio to talk Patriots adjustments for Week 2. They'll also count down to Bruins training camp, see what know-how can do. One out in the 7th inning. Alan Craig coming up. He has struck out swinging and flied out to right. Popped up foul off to the right out of play.
Alan Craig obviously injuring himself right after he got to the Red Sox. Been back for a little bit now, but has had very little success so far in a Red Sox uniform. Everybody's hoping that changes going into next season.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Just 5 hits.
That average down to 102 in a Red Sox uniform. Five for 49 in a Red Sox uniform. Pitch skipping in for ball one.
Talked in the open of this show about Pedroia and whether or not we'll see him at all, and I think all signs are pointing towards him being shut down and trying to figure out specifically if he needs some type of wrist surgery and get that done as soon as possible. I can imagine. I mean, he went the entire season with that wrist injury. Never says anything about it. But sometimes your own tenacity can get you in trouble. He had one of his worst seasons ever this year, and maybe brought that on himself a little bit. If he had got out of the lineup and said, hey, this hurts, I need to get it fixed, let's see what we have to do. Won't take himself out of the lineup.
This is the play that occurred on in the home opener for the Red Sox against the Milwaukee Brewers here at Fenway.
Carlos Gomez went in hard on the double play ball, and watch Petey come down on that glove hand side. That's April 4th. And then you play the rest of the season that way. He's had cortisone shots numerous times.
Craig strikes out for the second out of the 7th inning, 2 down.
Pretty much same story. That slider hard and in, down and in to Craig. Second time he struck out on that pitch.
Third strikeout of the day for Wei-Yin Chen, 2 down here in the 7th.
You know, you're with this ball club every day. Did you ever once hear Petey say something about, yeah, I'm not swinging the bat all that well because my wrist is scuffling?
Never.
Not a chance.
Nor am I surprised that he played all year hurt with it. If you recall, did the same thing
last year. The thumb issue, which also happened
opening day.
Yep.
In New York.
Wow. They ought to sit him down on opening day.
He should never play on opening day.
Go get him after that. I think it's a smart thing, and I'm almost wondering why they didn't do it earlier with him, given the fact that this team, 22 and a half games out of first place, definitely not going anywhere. Get one of your best players entirely healthy for next season.
It's popped up foul off to the right. Also want to give him as much time as possible to have a normal winter as far as getting ready for the upcoming season.
Might be good to rein him back just a little bit. As soon as he goes home, he starts working out again.
Nava today 0 for 2. He's bounced to short, fly to center. Red Sox have not been able to do much with Wei-Yin Chen. Didn't have a hit until the 6th inning against Chen. There is strike 2. He retired the first 16 Red Sox batters he faced in the game before Dan Butler's first major league hit, a double off the wall and left. A couple of hits this inning, including a run. Bogarts, the leadoff home run. David Ortiz, a double. Big Poppy still at second base with 2 down. Don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Men's Warehouse, proudly introducing Joseph Aboud. TC and Jim Rice will update Rusney Castillo's progress and a preview of the Paw Sox playoff chase. That's tomorrow at 7 p.m. on NESN.
Did you say that TC and Jim would be talking about the 30 greatest plays in Red Sox history as they count down to number 1? Be pretty sweet if you're Jim Rice and you're just sitting there and like 19 of them are about you.
Well, Nava strikes out back-to-back Ks, but the Red Sox are on the board thanks to the home run by Bogarts. It's 8-1 Baltimore.
8th inning. Listen, guys, Ace Ticket, that's your spot if you're looking for big tickets. But today before the game, Ace Ticket was presenting a big check like they do every single year for $50,000 to the Red Sox Foundation. Their CEO, Jim Holtzman, in the building to do the honors. $50,000 to the Red Sox Foundation. Pretty good gesture. Psycho, I'm still waiting for you to sign over that $50,000 check to me, man. Still waiting.
You may be waiting a while, Gary.
Hold your breath.
Great to see Jim Holtzman here at the ballpark as the Red Sox and Orioles head into the 8th inning, and a new pitcher on for Boston as the Red Sox employ their 5th pitcher of the day, Junichi Tazawa, to his 67th game of the year, 3-3 with a 3.09 earned run average, 60 strikeouts, 17 walks. Opponents hitting at .254 against Tazawa. Takes over for Alex Wilson, who had a 1-2-3 7th inning, a strikeout, fly out, and a ground out. Jonathan Scope to lead it off here for the Orioles in the 8th inning. Scope will pop it up. Jamal Weeks, second baseman, puts it away for the first out here of the 8th. As we all know, a happy staff equals a productive staff. There's no better way to show your employees a good time than treating them to a night at Fenway Park. Go to redsox.com/groups to book your company outing now.
So let me see if I can figure this out about Gary.
Yes.
He's the good-looking sideline guy for the Red Sox. He's the host of the Nesson Clubhouse show. You can see him pop up on Nesson Live and NST. And he's looking for cash from me?
He's looking. You would think that he would not have a cash flow problem based on all what you just said.
Everywhere, man.
Psycho, listen, man, I see you roll up into Fenway, man. You got the shiny shoes. Your suit game is on point, even though, you know, I wear the same suits as you. But, man, you're always looking fresh. You got the hair slicked back.
It's Joseph Abboud, man.
I figure I can get a couple pennies off you, man.
Hey, you know what? Tell you what, some kid gave me a lucky penny today.
Is that right?
Yeah, at the game.
Didn't
help the Red Sox, but I'm feeling great.
But he's right about all that. I mean, you got the good hair going. You got the pocket thing going there. That's nice.
I like that.
Yeah, you're on point, as Gary said.
I'm afraid to run this out because I'm sure you will never let me forget it. But my father told me, he said, you know, when you're broadcasting a game, you should try to look good because you don't ever say anything that's all that smart. I was trying to take his advice.
Always good to look good.
Yeah.
In there for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Told me the same thing as when I was a player too. He said, wear your uniform right. Try to look good because there's going to be plenty of days when you don't play very well. You might fool somebody. Might fool someone into thinking you're a player if you look like a ball player.
Did he realize that you were going to perhaps drop some of your uniform on national television at any point? I mean,
no, but he told me that when I was in the 5th grade.
Okay,
he was basically teaching our Little League team how to wear our uniforms right. And so I think at that point he didn't realize that I was actually going to make it to the big leagues either. So all good. Look like a ball player. You might fool someone. And he's right. There's plenty of days where you stink it up out there.
You still look good doing it.
Yeah, if you look like you can play, that might help a little bit.
Marquez with a foul tip into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. Tazawa picks up his first K. 2 down in the 8th.
Marquez had that first strikeout in the 4th on a tough call, and now he's had to expand his strike zone. See that pitch off the plate? That was a pitch that got called on him earlier in the day, and now struck out 3 times. Good player. Rough day.
So 2 down here in the 8th inning. It brings up Alejandro Diaza. Diaza with a walk and a single. He is struck out, flied out to center. Good sized gap out there in right center field for Diaza. And 2 home runs here in last night's game. And he cranks it foul off to the left, 0-2. We were just talking about Jim Holtzman, and Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway. All the 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Treat yourself or someone special. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS.
Red Sox are leaving that big gap in right center field because when Diaza hits one out there, it generally ends up in the bullpen. Can't catch it. The 2 home runs last night out there.
Last saw Tazawa against Toronto 5 days ago for Junichi Tazawa between outings.
Heard the comments of John Farrell earlier today about Koji and how he will be used down the stretch here. Not so much in the closer's role, but they will get him into games to see if they can kind of get him right again. And they want to push him back into that closer's role if, in fact, he does turn things back around. That guy has been so good for so long. Hit a rough patch here lately.
Splitter not doing what it did before.
Just staying there. Was one of the best splitters in the game. He would just drop off a table. And lately, that thing's just hung out there and said, hit me. I got to try to figure that out for him.
Piazza grounds it down the first baseline softly. Craig will grab it and tag the bag to end the top of the 8th. It's 8-1 Baltimore after 7.5. The new Scion TC, and by Southwest Airlines. Eight to 1, Baltimore has the lead over the Red Sox as we head to the last half of the 8th inning. Bottom third of the Red Sox order coming up to face a new Orioles pitcher, Ryan Webb. 45th appearance of the year, 3-3 with a 4.03 earned run average, 35 strikeouts to 11 walks, and opponents hitting at .254 against Webb. Takes over for Wei-Yin Chen, who retired the first 16 Red Sox that he faced today. Ends up going 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 4. The only blemish, the home run by Xander Bogaerts in the 7th inning, is Carlos Rivera leads it off for Boston here in the bottom of the 8th. Rivera, Butler, and Weeks. On the ground, foul outside of third, and it's 1-2. Red Sox have action in their pen. Edward Mujica, who is serving as the Red Sox closer. That's up in the pen, looking to get some work today. With the Red Sox trailing 8-1. Looks like he'll be on for the 9th inning after Tazawa pitched the top half of the 8th.
I don't know if it's a little mental thing with me or not, but it's really hard for me to look at anybody in a Red Sox uniform wearing number 72 and not think of the wonderful run that Xander Bogaerts had last year wearing that number.
I thought you were going to say Carlton Fisk when he was with the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah.
I thought that's where you're going with that.
I was a teammate of his at that time. Of course, he's just switched his number around because when he was with the Red Sox, he was 27. I told him every spring training, I said, Pudge, aren't you going to change your number to 73 this year because you are another year older?
It's amazing to think that he ended up catching more games for the White Sox than he did the Red Sox.
Yeah. Fabulous player.
Grounder softly into short. Flaherty coming in. Rivero is out number 1 at the bottom of the 8th inning. It's becoming a trend at Fenway Park, handing off a baseball to another youngster. And it just happened again. Keeps happening here at Fenway.
Passing on the goodness. Well, she already got one foul ball, or her sister did. Share the wealth.
Dan Butler with a swing and a miss. Have you told Dan Butler who you think he looks like yet? Have you had the chance to?
Well,
Yukon Cornelius.
Yukon Cornelius, yes. Bumble's bounce. I'm going to, but I want to make sure I'm far enough away from him when I do.
Now, if I recall this story, he goes and gets the abominable snowman under control. They realize that the snowman has a tooth problem, and they bring in the guy that wants to be the dentist
Hermie.
to fix it.
The dentist, yes.
Okay. So he comes in and he fixes it, and then they bring in the abominable snowman at the end to put the star on the tree.
Yes.
Am I right about this?
Yes.
This is back to the track and the wall. Butler is headed to second base. He's having some kind of day. His second major league hit. 2 hits today, both doubles.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but he had 0 hits in his career before anyone called him Yukon Cornelius.
You
now,
are correct.
Back-to-back doubles, crushing the ball. I love it. I like the way he carries himself on the field and off. As I said before, he's a happy guy, boy, and getting his opportunity to play at the big leagues, he's ecstatic. It's a tough situation for him, kind of being passed over this year down in Pawtucket because of what Christian Vasquez has been doing.
1 out, Butler at second. Jamal Weeks will take a strike. Weeks has fly to right twice in the game.
And of course, as soon as Vasquez came to the big leagues, who do you think they called up to be the catcher in AAA? Swihart shows up there, and Butler got his chance up here a little bit. Good to see.
Stay tuned today following WB Mason. Extra Innings Live for Red Sox Final presented by Esurance. Send your questions to TC at hashtag Sox Final. Maybe yours will be answered on Red Sox Final presented by Esurance. One down, runner at second base. Jamal Weeks batting here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Back to the mound. Webb looked the runner back before tossing to first high, but Davis goes up to get it, tags the bag for out number 2. No advance at second for Butler, 2 down. Two down for Mookie Betts. Fly to left, popped out to second, and fly to left again. And there for strike 1. To right field, Markakis in the sun field, able to make the catch on the sinking liner to end the 8th inning. It's 8-1 Baltimore at the end of 8 from Fenway. Mountain Coffee K-Cup packs will keep you running and guarantees to satisfy any fan base. Order by 11:30 a.m. and get free same-day delivery. Who but WB Mason? Now, today's game summary is brought to you by Xfinity and has been all Orioles today. And it starts with their pitching, Wei-Yin Chen, 7 innings. In fact, he retired the first 16 Red Sox that he faced in the game. Offensively, getting most of their runs in the 3rd inning, a 6-run inning that would chase Workman from the game. Brandon Workman on the hook as only offense for the Red Sox. Xander Bogaerts with a home run, his 11th of the year. New pitcher for Boston and their 6th of the day. It is Edward Mujica into his 59th game of the year. 2-4 with a 4.00 earned run average. 39 strikeouts to 13 walks, and opponents hitting at .290 against Mujica.
When your starter gets blown out early like Workman did today, you're thankful for the expanded rosters. John Farrell has plenty of options he can go to during the regular season. You'd be worried about blowing your bullpen out as well. It doesn't necessarily mean I like the fact that you can expand your rosters, but
just going to ask you that. I mean, that's something that I know is not going away, but you play into one set of rules for 5 months and then everything changes for the last month.
As a player, I never really put that much thought into it, but since I've been done playing and broadcasting and understanding the merit of that, you're absolutely right. There are some organizations that can call up a guy like, for instance, Cincinnati last year with Hamilton, who wasn't good enough to play in the big leagues yet, but could absolutely fly and steal a base and make a difference for you in a number of games down the stretch. Or a guy that can come in and off the bench and hit home runs. Just change the way your team looks. That hurts. And it just doesn't really make sense to do that anymore. That's not even off his foot. That's right off the shin bone, which is, I'm not sure what connected to.
Well, if you're following Nesson on Twitter, you would have known that TC and Wake were joined by rookie pitcher Matt Barnes on the pregame show. Look back to 15 years ago today when Pedro Martinez pitched his one-hit, 17-strikeout masterpiece at Yankee Stadium. Follow Nesson at twitter.com/Nesson. Adam Jones staying in the game after fouling it off his leg. Now he swings and drives one out towards deep left center field. Betts going back to the track, but it's going to be off the wall. Plays the carom, and Jones into second base standing with a leadoff double to begin the 9th inning.
Well, I said at the outset of this ball game, and I'll say it again, boy, this kid is worth watching. He just doesn't have any holes in his game.
Well, Jones done for the day as David Lowe will run for him. Lead runner at second base here for the Orioles in the 9th inning. Nelson Cruz, the batter. Doubled his last time up, a 1-for-4 day. He'll take strike one. Mika picking up his 4th save of the year on Saturday against Toronto. It's a grounder to shortstop, and Bogarts. Low throw dug out by Craig. No advance for Lowe at second base. One down in the inning. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. The guys who break down Brandon Workman's start and have John Farrell's post-game comments. Can't go wrong when you buy right at WB Mason. Runner at second, one down for Chris Davis.
I think sometimes the manager dreads having to make post-game comments. Today may be one of those days.
Swing and a miss for strike one. Pitcher of record on the losing right side right now for the Red Sox. Brandon Workman would fall to 1-9.
I think you also have to take a step back from Brandon Workman's season and say that they put him through some situations this year too. He was up earlier in this season pitching out of the bullpen and pitching very, very well. You remember he came in and threw a bunch of pitches one day, threw well, then they sent him to the minor leagues because they had to make a move. They realized that he wasn't going to be able to come back and pitch for another 2 or 3 days. And then that kind of put him on a little bit of a downward spiral. He pitched well in AAA, but then up and down at the major league level, making a start and not doing well. I think kind of messed with him a little bit. But he really needs to work on command of his fastball and making sure that he can stay out of the middle of the plate.
A good pitch by Mujica. It strikes out Davis, freezes him, and it is the second out here of the 9th inning. First strikeout for Mujica. Two down for Kelly Johnson, batting for the first time in the game. Took over defensively at third base an inning ago, and now bats in the number 6 spot in the order. Down the left field line, this ball is going to land fair. And around from second base comes David Lowe. He'll score, throw to second base, and Johnson is in safely. An RBI double, and the O's add on to their lead on top 9-1.
How many times do you see a guy who's normally a closer come into a non-save situation and the juices just aren't flowing the same way? Johnson does a pretty good job of taking a two-seam running fastball that's going away from him and just dropping it into that corner right off the chalk line.
Two down, Johnson at second base, and Caleb Joseph takes ball 1. Joseph with 2 hits today, a single in the 3rd inning, and then a 2-run home run in the 5th inning, his 9th home run of the year. Line foul. Workman for 3 innings today. Breslow went 2. Tommy Lane an inning. Alex Wilson an inning, and Shinichi Tozawa an inning. Edward Mujica 2/3 of an inning so far here in the 9th. He's given up an additional run here to the Orioles, who now have a 9-1 lead. Left side, and diving is Bogarts. Not going to have a play anyway, but he saves a run there by getting to that ball and keeping Johnson at third base. Base hit for Caleb Joseph, his 3rd hit of the day.
I think there's a good chance this does save a run. A lot of times you don't see guys try to score on a base hit to left, but with 2 outs, I think Johnson would have tried to score. You can get an excellent jump from second base, not having to worry about whether or not someone catches the ball. Maybe the only reason why you'd hold him up there is because of the 9-1 lead.
Ryan Flaherty has had a 3-hit day today. Now he has a 4-hit day today. Lines it into right field. From third base comes Johnson. Caleb Joseph being stopped at third. It is an RBI double for Ryan Flaherty, and the Maine native has his 4th hit of the day.
The maniac is on fire.
First career 4-hit day.
I believe Tom Caron told me that Ryan Flaherty's dad is a baseball coach. That's a pretty good pitch to hit right there. Just kind of a pitch right out over the middle of the plate, not much on it. Flaherty's made that hurt all day long today. Got to think he's got some friends and family down here watching him play in Boston.
Well, it is now 10-1, Baltimore on top. And a grounder softly hit towards third. Rivero charging. His throw on the run and just in time. Able to get Jonathan Scope at first base, and to end the 9th inning, 2 more runs for the Orioles, who lead it 10-1. As we head to the bottom of the ninth inning, some changes for the Orioles. David Lowe staying in the game after pinch running for Adam Jones. He's in right field and into center now. The former Red Sox outfielder Quentin Berry comes in for the O's. New pitcher for Baltimore, the veteran Joe Saunders, into his 11th game, 0-5 with a 6.02 earned run average. 22 strikeouts, 21 walks, and opponents hitting at .354 against Joe Saunders. Signed by the Orioles August the 5th. He's made 229 career starts over his 10-year Major League career. Coming out of the bullpen here for the Orioles to face Xander Bogaerts to begin things in the bottom of the ninth inning. There is a strike, and it's a ball and a strike. Xander hit a home run his last time up in the 7th inning. Lone Boston run of the day. And for Bogaerts, his 11th of the year.
Boy, we were telling you about the great day that Ryan Flaherty, the shortstop of the O's, is having with his 4 hits. I mentioned that his father was a baseball coach. And Tom Kieran told me exactly. Ed Flaherty's been the head coach at the University of Southern Maine for a long time. In fact, won a Division III championship in the early 90s.
Line to left, and Xander Bogaerts has himself another hit. This one quickly by Diaza and bounces off the wall. So Bogaerts heads to second base, gets himself a double to begin things here in the 9th inning.
Here's one of the things that I'm really liking about what I see out of Xander lately is we know that he had so much trouble with the pitch away from him for most of the season. Once he started hitting that, guys started to say, all right, well, he's made it a little bit of an adjustment, so let's make the adjustment on him and try to pound him inside. He hasn't let that happen. You throw him in, and he cleans it out of there pretty good.
Well, pinch hitter here, and Jackie Bradley Jr. pinch hitting for David Ortiz. He'll take the strike, and the count evens at 1-1.
You know, and just in case Ryan Flaherty's father, Ed, is listening, because I know they get Nesson. Ed himself was a big star at the University of Maine in his own right. Don't want to slight him.
Jackie Bradley Jr. recalled Friday from the Paw Sox, second Major League stint of the year. 16 games with the Paw Sox as it turned out, 2 postseason games. Hit .211 while with Pawtucket. And a grounder right side. Scope at second base. Throws out Bradley Jr. as Bogaerts takes third, 1 down in the 9th inning. Comes Yoenis Cespedes, 0 for 3 in the game. He struck out, flied out to the warning track in center, and popped out to shortstop.
Bogaerts with yet another 2-hit ball game tonight. Today, rather. Or his last 11 games, hitting about .390.
Up high, 2-0.
Well, now what do? You go away first pitch and miss. Now you try to come in, but you're up and in. Cespedes, you got to be thinking, is sitting dead red right here, and he'll air it out if he gets it. Not close.
There's a strike right at the bottom of the zone.
want the game to speed up, call more strikes. Let the hitters know that they have to go up there hacking.
Cespedes fouls it off. Full count now. Saunders battles his way back.
And if you're a pitcher, throw more strikes. Doesn't seem that difficult.
And Joe Saunders made 7 starts for the Orioles in 2012. In fact, winning pitcher in the wild card playoff game against Texas. And he walks Cespedes here with 1 out in the 9th inning. So runners at the corners now for Boston. 1 out here in the 9th. And Alan Craig coming up. 0-for-3 today. He has struck out, flied out to right, and struck out again. Craig takes strike 1. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Wei-Yin Chen today with the first 7 innings, giving up 1 run. Then Ryan Webb worked the 8th inning. Did not allow a run, and now Joe Saunders. Red Sox have 1st and 3rd. And a pitch down low, ball 2. A little bit low. Only behind Craig, 3-1.
Good look at Dave Wallace. Knows pitching. And it shows in this Oriole organization, with the exception of what we've seen out of Saunders today.
Saunders walking back-to-back batters here in the 9th inning. Pretty much the last thing Dave Wallace wants to see. Bases loaded, 1 out, and Daniel Nava coming up as Caleb Joseph out there to talk to Saunders. Nobody warming yet. Well, it looks like there's going to be here in a moment. For strike 1 to Nava. Nava today is grounded out to short, flied out to center, and struck out swinging. Fouled back, and it's 0-2. Keep the score here at the ballpark today. Not a lot going on that side of the sheet for the Red Sox offensively today. The 0-2 pitch. Nava reaches out and sends it foul down the right field line. Bases loaded, 1 out, 0-2 the count to Nava. Ball 1, 1-2.
Tough position to be in if you're Nava. You would think Saunders would probably go to a changeup down and away here, but you can't just sit on a changeup with 2 strikes. Might see a good fastball to hit. There's the change.
Pitch 25 coming up for Saunders here of the inning.
I think Chen threw that many in 6 innings.
Nava drives it to left field. Diaz going back, going to be off the wall. From third, Bogaerts will score. Cespedes behind him. It is a 2-run double for Daniel Nava, and it's now 10-3 Baltimore.
Nice at bat for Daniel Nava there after getting down on the count 0-2. Fouled off a couple tough pitches and then spit on that changeup. If you swing at that changeup, you're done and gone. You strike out. You don't swing at it, you get a better pitch to hit, and he drives it off the left center field wall. A couple RBIs. Big double right there for him.
Dave Wallace out there as Tommy Hunter is warming up in the Baltimore pen. Well, the O's wanted to have happen today. They had a 10-1 lead coming in here to the 9th inning and wanted Saunders to finish it off, but he is struggling at the moment. Carlos Rivero, the batter, 0 for 3 today. He's grounded out to the left side 3 times today, twice to third, once to short. Drive to left field for Rivero, and that ball is gone into the monster seats. A 3-run home run. And now it is 10-6. Here come the Sox in the 9th inning. It is a 4-run game after a 5-run bottom of the 9th inning so far for Boston.
We saw Xander Bogaerts do it on the first pitch of an inning, come out and ambush a fastball. This is a breaking ball that just hung right at the letters of Rivero on the first pitch, and he takes it into the seats.
So the Red Sox making some noise here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The pitching change for Baltimore. It's now 10-6. Orioles with a 10-6 lead. Red Sox scoring 5 times so far here in the 9th inning. And a new pitcher on for Baltimore, Tommy Hunter. 53rd game of the year, 3-2, 3.29 earned run average. 54 2/3 innings, 42 strikeouts, so 11 walks. And opponents hitting at .248 against him. Dan Butler, the batter. He'll take ball 1. Butler's had a good day today. His first major league hit in the 6th inning, a double. Followed it up with another double in the 8th inning.
Hunter struck out 3 last night.
Butler tried to hold up, but he goes around. According to first base umpire Mike Everett.
Well, let's take another look at this one. Yeah, I guess they get that last little whip of the bat. That's usually what gets you.
Hunter appears to have found his niche in the pen after being a starter for both Texas and Baltimore. Now pitching very effectively out of the pen and has been used as the closer at times. Began the year as the closer. In fact, had a save on opening day against Boston. That's in there for a strike. 2-2.
Good breaking ball right there, and now Butler's seen everything he's got.
May have gone around the check. No, he did not this time, says Mike Everett. And it's a full count.
Might have caught a break on that one. Remember, we talked about the little whip at the end, not quite as big as the first called strike.
Chop left side and deep in the hole. Flaherty's got a long throw that will not be in time.
You cannot get Yukon Cornelius on a play like that. Come on. Remember having long conversations as you watch this base hit again, hit it into that 6 hole and run fast. Even Butler's got the foot speed to get there on a play like this, deep into the hole for Flaherty. Dusty Baker used to say, when I'm managing a team and I'm behind by a lot of runs, I've got to get myself back to slam range, he used to call it. Put myself into position where a grand slam will either tie it or put me ahead somehow.
Jamal Weeks pulls the bat back and takes ball 1. Weeks 0 for 3. He's fly to right twice today. Grounded back to the mound. 5-run bottom of the 9th inning to this point for Boston. 1 out. And Weeks will hit it in the air to left center field. Quentin Berry come together, and Berry catches it. He and Diaz collide, but Berry holds onto it on the second bid as they go back and forth. They're just into the game. That's the second out. Almost a disaster out there for Baltimore.
That would have been way more fun if they dropped this.
Into the bare hand in the end.
Did both guys get a glove on it?
I think so.
Yeah. It went in and out of both gloves. And then Berry tried to catch it again, and it hit off the finger of his glove, and he had to catch it barehanded.
Now it's up for Mookie Betts. We are to continue as he takes strike 1. 0 for 4 in the ball game. He's fly to left, popped out to second, fly to left again, and lined out to right. Two balls and a strike. 3 balls and a strike.
Mookie's had a couple good balls to hit today. Earlier on, he missed them. His last at bat, he hit a bullet to right field. He's going to sit on that same pitch right now. A little extra giddy up from Hunter.
Ball 4. They inch closer to bringing the tying run to the plate. Need another base runner. Walk allowed by Hunter, and here comes Buck Showalter.
Wow.
And he is going to make the change. You have the tying run on deck. We will step aside. Darren O'Day be coming in. Have the lead. They're 1 out away from wrapping this up, but the Red Sox have other ideas. Darren O'Day into the game, his 61st game of the year, 4-1, 1.33 earned run average. Xander Bogaerts batting with 2 on, 2 down, and a pitch outside for ball 1.
Suddenly the Red Sox just 1 base runner away from slam range.
This was a 10-1 game when this inning started. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Xander Bogaerts back in the 7th inning, hitting his 11th home run of the year, and at the time gave the Red Sox their first run of the game. It was 8-1 at the time. Popped up, foul, and out of play. 1-2.
I'd be surprised if they stay on the inner half of the plate to Bogaerts any longer in this ball game. I think they'd go back to attacking them the way they used to, which would be sliders away.
Close pitch, could have been called a strike, but it is ball 2.
Tough pitch to take with 2 strikes. Xander lays off of it. Doesn't look good to the home plate umpire. Seen a lot of cases where Red Sox hitters have laid off one particular pitch that could get them out, and they come back and hit the next one hard.
Bogaerts hits it on the ground to third base. Kelly Johnson's got it, and that's the ball game. Red Sox are able to put together 5 runs in the bottom of the ninth, but it's not enough as the Baltimore Orioles come away with a 10-6 victory and a sweep of the series. We're back after this with more.